The artificial intelligence has arrived, pushing the true artist down into the hell ruled by Satan. A major publishing house, Harlequin or HarperCollins France, is opting to choose artificial intelligence over human translators. To be precise, to translate romance novels from English to French. It was surprising to know that AI knew something about romance. The new Romeos and Juliets are AI. But AI can never understand the depth of love, the simple nuances of love, where a young man writes letters to his beloved in the hope of a reply, in the hope of a smile. AI cannot feel a thing. To create an AI that can feel love or any other emotion is to create a superhuman who will completely enslave the human species, Homo sapiens, us. The rise of AI will not be the death of translators alone. It is just a small step in the grand sinister schemes, which we will discuss some other day when we talk about Dune by Frank Herbert Frank. So, why art is important? That's a question which we must ponder. I will tell why art is important, but for that, we must look into the evolution and the history of our species, Homo sapiens. We Homo sapiens used to live together with other hominins like Neanderthals, Denisovans, and other unnamed, unidentified hominins. So basically, they were our cousins. Okay, I'm not an anthropologist, and my knowledge on anthropology is primarily from YouTube videos of North 22. Sadly, I cannot devour information like artificial intelligence, but I can luckily feel things in a depth which AI cannot do, and hopefully will never be able to do. Neanderthals were the first artists in our world, according to recent studies, but we can be proud that we created better hunting tools, complex semantics, and complex artworks, which all reflected our intellect, the skull shape of our skull, and which helped us survive beyond other hominins. Now, are we going to give up our art and creativity to a lifeless, slope generating AI? Without art, we are nothing but a weak robot, a weak machine who cannot store information and process information like a strong computer or a strong machine. Without art, we are nothing but a walking robot. Alienation from one's creativity is alienation from one's true self. Is this the first time a machine is replacing humans? No. Let us look into the history of computers, the objective behind making the mechanical or electronic computers. The European colonizers had difficulty voyaging through the sea, to plunder the wealth of Africa and Asia and bring it back to Europe. It was difficult to voyage through the sea using almanac tables because the data was calculated by human computers, which brought human errors into it. To err is human, to make no error is AI. So there was a genius in England named Babbage who created a machine called the difference engine, a super calculator which reduced human error in almanac tables. Now, while working with the difference engine, he got an idea of another instrument, analytical engine, the spiritual father of modern computers. Interestingly, the famous poet Lord Byron, his daughter Miss Lovelace became the first computer programmer by writing about Babbage's analytical engine. They made a friendship over the years. Anyway, Babbage wasn't practically successful at creating an analytical engine as he worked under heavy pressure. He lacked government funds, and the way he envisioned the analytical engine was based on a 18th century steam engine mechanics, which created difficulties in the practical application of his idea. So Babbage was not practically successful. Anyway, why did Babbage try to create a computer, try to create an analytical engine? to systemize the production, for standardization, and most importantly, to avoid human error. Time passed, and many mechanical computers were invented, proto computers, nothing like our computers. The differential analyzer developed by Bush at MIT in 1929 was an important invention, but it was difficult to use. As I said, they were all mechanical computers. So, to compute a different problem, you need to reassemble the whole system. However, in 1938, a German scientist, Suess, successfully created a working electromechanical computer in Germany. Around the same period, when the Roosevelt Depression was going on in America, unskilled workers or unskilled laborers were used as human computers. They worked under the skilled mathematicians by the WBA Mathematical Tables Project in New York City. These unskilled laborers became high school teachers after the World War as electronic computers dominated their market. So there are also some good things with computer. But in 1940s everything changed. Japanese forces attacked the US naval base at Pearl Harbor. USA had no choice but to enter World War II. Now, the US Army used to aim artillery at a target of known range. So, now firing this shell required mathematical formulas to follow a desired parabolic trajectory. The data changed according to geographical conditions and target distances. The differential analyzer and human computers were not effective. They required time, which resulted in the pursuit of something more effective. The scientists, Eckert and others, developed a computer called ENIAC. A computer called ENIAC, ENIAC. The ENIAC was the first electronic computer used for general purposes. It was completed in 1945 at the end of the World War II. It was not a big use in World War II, but it was later used for atomic energy calculations and other government programs. Again, the use of human computers were reduced. This is a pattern we can see everywhere. A scientist, von Neumann, was working in Manhattan Project, the atom bomb project, and he saw the scope of ENIAC and created a new computer with the help of the creators of ENIAC. The new computer was named EDVAC, EDVAC. It had five organs for the first time, like our modern computers. The five organs were memory, arithmetic unit, input organ, output organ, and controlling unit. So, control unit. So, it had five organs for the first time, like our modern personal computers. Now, this computer can store more information, process more information, but cannot solve problems like humans, cannot be as creative as humans. Not anymore. Artificial intelligence has arrived. All of this explains one thing: the computers were designed to replace humans so that we can achieve the most effective results. What is AI? A highly intelligent machine used to replicate human cognition. A machine that can learn, think, and solve issues like human or better than a human. Let's not get into the development of artificial intelligence. From 1950s, there was an idea of artificial intelligence. John McCarthy coined the term artificial intelligence in the 1950s. In 1990s, AI began learning like humans using choice tree, vector machines, and neural system. Neural networks are directly inspired from human, but it can store more information and recollect the same information faster than a human. It can acknowledge picture, can understand and interpret the human language using text and images, NLP, can be used in gaming, and there is a discourse acknowledgement. So basically, AI is a stronger human being with no emotion. So it cannot be very strong because there is no emotion. So now there is a question. Can we recognize artificial intelligence as AI? Artificial intelligence as artificial intelligence? Turing test. It is also known as imitation game designed by Turing. Here a human judge or interrogator asks questions related to human experiences and a human or computer answers it. The judge must find out if the person is human or a computer. If the computer can successfully fool the judge, it wins. Turing predicted that by 2000, a computer of 10 raised to 9 bytes of storage would fool an average jet 30% of the time. In 2025, GPT 4.5 fooled the jet 73% of time. Of course, the Turing test is dependent on the intelligence of the judge and some other factors, but I don't think they will bring a low IQ person as a judge for the test. My appeal to the scientists, computer engineers, and mathematicians is to create a better test with a higher standard by which we can recognize artificial intelligence as artificial intelligence. At least it will help us to prevent fake AI writers from creating unoriginal generative slow novels. Now coming back to France, HarperCollins is using AI to translate romantic novels into French. If other corporates follow the same trend, the whole class of workers will be displaced. There will be a few who will operate the AI, but not for a long time. AI will start to operate AI. Artificial intelligence will operate AI. Let me end this video with a poem. First, they came for the socialist, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionist, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. This is a beautiful poem written by a German bishop, Martin Niemöller, when he was arrested by Nazis and put into concentration camp. To all the readers, together we are strong. As a powerful community, we must speak against AI in writing. Let us boycott any book which is created by using AI. Let us demonstrate our strength, and our strength lies in the knowledge within the papers. Thank you. Ondre kulam orvane devam.